It's a weird thing that happens with a lot of successful CPA firms. You finally hit that growth you've been working so hard for, but instead of celebrating, everyone just feels totally swamped. So today we're going to break down why that is, and more importantly, how focusing on stability instead of just raw speed can honestly change the game for you. So let's just cut to the chase. I'm going to ask you point blank. Is your success actually overwhelming you? If you're leading a growing firm, I bet that question really lands. I mean, the new clients are rolling in, the work is stacked high, but you can almost hear the engine of your firm groaning, right? It's starting to creak under all that pressure. All right, let's really break this down. On one side, you've got what we'll call unstable growth. And let's be real, this is where a ton of firms end up. It's just reactive. You're always putting out fires, the team is strained, overwhelmed. But then look at the other side. That's the dream, right? Stable growth. That feels confident. You know it's coming, it's predictable, you're building something strong. And here's the kicker. The difference isn't how much you're growing, it's all about the structure holding it all up. And that leads us right into our first big topic, the hidden cost of all that growth. Because when your firm starts growing faster than your internal systems can handle, well, that's when the really painful problems start to show up. And I bet these symptoms are gonna sound painfully familiar. You've got that constant deadline pressure, right? Turnaround times are just all over the place. You see way more corrections popping up during review than you used to, and your team, they're just wiped out and frustrated. But listen, this isn't a sign that you're failing. Not at all. It's just a sign that your success has outgrown its container. This right here, this is the absolute core of it, and it's so important to get this. Your firm is not failing. Your people are not failing. You are just operating beyond the limits of your current structure. Think of it like trying to run a race car on a go-kart engine. So this reframes the whole thing. It's not a personal problem, it's an engineering problem. And believe me, engineering problems are a whole lot easier to fix. Okay, so if the problem is structural, it makes sense that the solution has to be structural too. And this is where we shift gears and talk about the stability advantage. It's really a massive mindset shift. It's about moving away from just get it done fast to let's get it done right every single time. Think about it like this. Chasing speed, hiring one more person in a panic, pulling another all-nighter, that might solve your problem for today. But building stability, that solves your problems for the next 5 years. It's literally the difference between slapping a patch on a leaky pipe and actually rebuilding the entire foundation of the house. So what does this actually look like in the real world? When you focus on stability, what do you get? Well, you get all the stuff that actually lets you sleep at night. We're talking predictable delivery schedules, so everyone, your clients and your team, knows what's happening and when. You get clear accountability. You get way, way less rework, which saves an insane amount of time. And maybe the best part? You get to talk to your clients with total confidence, instead of from a place of just pure chaos. All right, so if stability is the big goal, how do you actually build it? What's the tool? Well, for a growing number of firms, the answer is finding an architect for that stability. And more, that architect turns out to be India accounting outsourcing. Let me show you how this actually works. It's a pretty straightforward process. Step 1, you delegate all that routine, process-heavy stuff. Right away, that frees up your in-house team from the day-to-day grind. Now, they can actually focus on the big picture stuff, strategic reviews, building those key client relationships. And the end result? It just smooths out those crazy workflow spikes, especially during busy season, and creates a much, much more stable operation. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but why India specifically? The game has really changed. It's not just about cost savings anymore. It's about pure capability. You're tapping into this huge talent pool of people who are already experts in US accounting. Their teams are built for this stuff, with structured workflows that fit right into a CPA firm's world. And that flexible capacity, man, during tax season, that is an absolute game changer. Okay, I get it. The whole idea of outsourcing can feel a little nerve-wracking. It brings up some totally valid concerns. So let's just tackle the biggest one head on. Because getting this right really boils down to 2 things, trust and control. And this is it. This is the big one. The number one question we always hear, and honestly, it's the most important one you can ask. Are we going to lose control over quality? You've worked so hard to build your firm's reputation. Will handing off work just sacrifice all of that? The answer, when you do this the right way, is simple. Absolutely not. And here's the why behind that no. You're not giving up responsibility, you're just delegating tasks. Big difference. Your firm, you still have full authority over the final review. Nothing goes out the door without your stamp of approval. A great partner follows your processes, uses your templates. And this is critical. You always control client communication. Think of them as your back office engine, not your frontline sales team. The way this usually works is through something called a white label service. It's a really simple idea, but it's powerful. All the work they do is delivered under your firm's name, your brand. So as far as your client is concerned, absolutely nothing has changed. They're still getting the fantastic service they've always gotten from you. The only difference is that behind the scenes, your engine is just running a whole lot smoother. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. Once you build this super stable foundation, what does the future of your firm actually feel like? In 2 words, growing with confidence. And the results? They directly solve all those problems we talked about at the beginning. That crushing deadline stress, it goes way down. Your best people, the ones who aren't completely burnt out anymore, they actually stick around. Your client service becomes rock solid and consistent. And maybe the biggest win of all for you as a leader finally get to pull your head out of the weeds. You get time back to think strategically about where to go next, instead of just fighting fires all day long. Look, the biggest takeaway here is really simple, but it's also totally transformative. Growth does not have to equal constant pressure. It just doesn't. By choosing to build for stability instead of just chasing speed, you can build a firm that isn't just bigger, it's stronger, it's healthier, and it's ready for anything. So the real question isn't if you can grow, it's how are you going to choose to do it?